Good morning. I'm Anandakumar, Faculty of English and Soft Skills Trainer. Once again, I welcome all to my video lecture. And today our topic is jam session. It means just a minute. It is very important round in the recruitment process. So without this round in reputed MNC companies, candidate who are not in the position to shortlist or to move to the final round. So jam, it's a kind of scrutinizing process in recruitment, and also it's a kind of platform to ensure the candidates performance and as well as their ability in order to hunt a job. So it is very important one in hiring process. Now let's see the topic, jam session. In today's competitive and busy world, it is not easy to get a job in an MNC company, as I told you already. Candidates who are applying as a daily basis, it becomes difficult for the HR manager to conduct the interviews, because it is not possible to conduct the interviews every day or with only one process. Then hence they conduct various rounds, and the one who clears the rounds and reaches the final round. These rounds include group discussion, written test, and jam session. In the present scenario, it is very common one used by the recruiters of numerous companies, along with, as I told you, that group discussion and performance indicator session as a part of a recruitment process. Now let's see what is called jam. Jam means just a minute. It is basically a 1 minute or less extempore speech is carried out without any preparation performance. So without preparation, on the spot, the title will be assigned to the particular candidate, and he or she has been instructed to take the assignment immediately, and they should not give any repetition, and always they just keep the timing, the time management on the mindset, in their mindset, without any confusion. So let's have a look clearly. Then the next slide is, here I have given you 2 points. So what do you mean jam, and why it's playing a vital role in recruitment process. So in jam session, recruiters who assess the candidate's communication skills, overall presentation skills, which includes body language, confidence, eye contact, etc. Ability to think of the feed here in the sense like fact, and the idea generation, whether it is logically thinking about a particular topic, and which connect to the panel or not. So 1 minute or less extempore speech that is carried out without any preparation or impromptu performance, so a part of recruitment process. Then the next slide is skills needed. As I told you already that if you want to take part in jam session, the communication skills which are required highly to prove yourself like an effective presenter or like the performer in the jam session, and the overall presentation skills which is highly appreciated to enhance, as well as it has to be presented clearly in front of the panel members. Then the next one is ability to think of the feed. As I told you that feed here represents about the fact, so you should think only the fact. So we should not to overcome the topic, or we should not deviate the topic. The next one is idea generation. So here your subconscious mind, which is always instructing to get some ideas or to generate the ideas more and more in order to give the sequence of the points, or the delivery related to the particular topic. The next one is sequencing of ideas to displace logical thinking. Absolutely correct. So whatever the ideas should be like very logical, and as well as it will be considered like a sequence order. Then spoken English is very important. So spoken English plays what we can say, it's a mandatory process. So here the flow should be followed by the candidate exclusively in the jam session. Then next one is factors judged. So here, what are all the factors have to be judged while taking part in jam session? The first one is self-confidence, then time management, flow of thoughts, flow of speech, and spontaneity and GK. So these factors will be judged or assessed by the HR team while taking part in a jam session. So the first one is self confidence. So once if you get the topic or the title from the panel, and immediately you just start your speech, or like start your performance without any extempore, preparation. So for that, the self confidence is very, 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 very important. So once if you have the self confidence, then systematically you can deliver your presentation without any confusion or like obstacles. So self confidence is very important. So I can able to talk, or I can talk on a particular topic without any break or pause. So in such a way, your confidence should be focused over on the topic. Then the second one is time management. As I told you, or the clear picture which represents always on the topic, jam session. So jam session, as I told you, that 1 minute speech. So here you are advised to keep the time management. It's an essential one in order to prove your skill within a minute. So don't forget time management, which is always required, or it's a mandatory one in jam session. So without following, or like without thinking of the time management, definitely you will not be considered like an effective participant, if you ask me, in the jam session. So don't forget time management is an essential one. Then next one is flow of thoughts. So flow of thoughts. So before going to take part, you must be equipped and practiced numerous time for taking part in jam session. So the flow of thoughts and flow of speech, so both are playing a dual role simultaneously, the speech and thoughts. So here the encoding and decoding process, so both are happening simultaneously. So encoding like your thoughts, and speech in the sense like decoding. So that has to be decoded, by the panel members. So don't forget the flow of thoughts is very important, as well as the flow of speech. So both are equally it has to be balanced equally without any disorder. So don't forget flow of thoughts and flow of speech is very, very important factor in the jam session. The next one is spontaneity and GK. So here the spontaneity in the sense like the spontaneous overflow of your thoughts, and thoughts are like your flows should be engage the session without giving any pass or break. And moreover, it will be assessed or judged by the panel member or the HR team, whether you will be shortlisted or not. So the shortlist, or like the scrutinizing process, which will be based on your performance. So for that you need more information, or more thoughts on your mindset in order to prove yourself like an efficient participant. And GK is very important, because whatever the topic, the general knowledge, which is always like a what we can say, backbone of your performance. So the practice get practice always for proving your efficiency during the performance. So these factors are very, very important. So here I have given you the picture that So your mindset, which is always thinking over, I mean, the time. So 1 minute speak, I mean 1 minute performance should be indicated, or it will be blinking on your mindset, and the same has to be followed by you along with your the flow of thoughts and flow of speech, the spontaneity which is always like spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings, and the GK, which will be considered like backbone, as I told you already, and self confidence. So these factors are, I mean, these factors are like an essential tool to become a wonderful performer in the jam session. So don't forget, these factors are very important. Then next we move to do's and don'ts in the jam session. So here I have given you 10 points. In the first point, you can begin with a thank you note. So you can begin with a thank you note in the sense. So thank you very much for giving me this wonderful opportunity. In such a way, you just initiate your performance. I mean your extempore in the jam session. Then second one is describe the topic in simple language. So here you are advised to don't use any complex or like the compound sentence, whereas you are advised, I mean you are suggested to use only the simple language, because that simple language which gives you good impression during the participation. And your information, as I told you, that it should be in simple language, and moreover it is an impromptu on the particular topic, I mean without any preparation. So it's a kind of what we can say, it's a kind of wonderful performance will be considered by the HR team. Then the third one is avoid long sentences and complex vocabulary. As I told you, that better we use only the simple language, avoid complex vocabulary, use simple words only. Then next one is speak with a clear voice. So voice, which is playing a vital role in this round, because the body language plays like 55 percentage, and the voice modulation like 38, and remaining 7 only the words. So your voice modulation, which is always like an like a supportive one for proving your performance in this round. The next one is don't use negative words and sentences. So I think there is no more explanation for fifth point. Don't use negative words and sentences. Be positive, and better you use the sentences according to the topic or according to the title of your jam session. Then the sixth point is prepare a few common jam topics in advance, as it will help you when the interviewer asks to choose a topic on your own. Sometimes you'll be getting golden opportunity that the topic is your choice. So the recruiter or like the HR team will give you wonderful opportunity that to choose your topic, I mean your own, on your own. So at the time, if you get practice already, I mean well in advance, then there is no issue or there is no confusion to start your session without any break or pass, and no need for any initiation or like any permission from the HR team. So better you can talk immediately. So in such a way, as I told you that some jam topics in well in advance, I mean you should be prepared and practiced. So definitely it will be very useful during the session, once if you get any golden opportunity from the HR team. Then the seventh point is give brief details, past, present, future of the topic. So here the tense should be followed clearly. So once if you start, I mean uh, I mean your flow of speech or like flow of thought, then it should be based on past, present, future of the topic. Definitely it will be giving a clear idea about your speech or like performance. So better you follow this. Then the eighth one is use proper grammar. It's very important. As I told you that avoid complex and compound sentences, complex vocabulary, and use only simple sentences. At the same time, use only the simple grammar. So don't go with any other. I mean the part of your grammar segment. Better use only the simple grammar. Then the ninth point is keep it straight and simple. So always your points should be very straight and simple. I mean, it should be focused to the central idea of the topic. I mean, about the jam session. So better you follow these constraints in order to avoid some confusions. Then conclude with a thanking note. Then once again you just conclude by saying that like thank you and all, and don't forget to give the gist of your speech at the end of your performance. I mean the speech in the jam session. So these 10 points are like entitled as like do's and don'ts. Then next we go with another slide, how to begin a 1 minute speech. Here I have given you some points. A beginning is supposed to be very engaging. The second point is I am going to keep this short. Intro works just fine. Then the third point is skip all the thank yous and good mornings. In the first point, a beginning is supposed to be very engaging. Generally, in presentation, good opening or good beginning, which is always required to admire the audience. But in 1 minute speech, I mean jam session, it is not possible, and moreover, you don't have the sufficient time to deliver your thoughts. So better you skip it and start as usual with a simple introduction, and don't give much more importance to the introduction and the conclusion. So better in this way you just start your I mean speech. I mean 1 minute speech. Then second one is I'm going to keep this short. Intro works just. So here I have given you an example that I'm going to keep this short in such a way you can initiate or start or to begin your speech for 1 minute. Then the third point is skip all the thank yous and good morning. So as I told you that don't give more important to the thank yous and good mornings, because we will have only 1 minute. So within 1 minute we just prove our efficiency, or like the we are in the position to prove our caliber. So we just focus only to the main idea, or like the main information about the topic. So the thank yous and good morning, you just touch it like a pickle. We should not give or we should not give more importance to the particular I mean the segment like good mornings and thank yous. So in such a way you just begin a 1 minute speech. Then next we move to how to end with your main message. So end with your main message in the sense it's not a kind of summary, or like you are not required to sum up, but you just touch the main message at the end of your 1 minute speech. Then save your core message until the end. So here core message is an essential one, so don't forget to save, as well as I mean it should be continued till the end of your speech, I mean the 1 minute speech. Then the next point is don't get fancy with things like ending with a quote or the poem or anything. See, if you ask me, the good example is I just prefer always this quote when I complete my speech in any common forum. Listen carefully. For example, how to say this? Enter to learn, drink the nectar of knowledge, and fly to serve our nation. In such a way, I would like to conclude my speech. So, this type of conclusion should be avoided because we don't have the sufficient or enough time in the jam session. Once again, I remind you that don't forget within 1 minute you will have what we can say, you will have more opportunity to focus only I mean about the topic or the title, and you should focus only on your I mean the thoughts and speech, and don't give any confusions or don't deviate the topic. So don't forget, don't get any fancy things like ending with a quote or the poem or anything, because time management is playing a prominent role in jam session. Once again, I remind you. Then next, the tips for for keeping yourself like a good presenter or like good performer in the jam session. So mental preparation, so you are suggested or requested to prepare well in advance. I mean the mental preparation, so I can do in the jam session, or I can take part in the jam session. So in such a way, you just enhance your self confidence, and as well as, I mean, you just keep on mental preparation without any hesitation or like any block. Then next one is start speaking in an even pace. So start speaking in an even pace. Like you just start your speaking like a sequence mode. Don't give any like the disorder mode and all. You should follow only the order mode. And the next one is confidence. As I told you that you just keep always your confidence for taking part in the jam session, and handle mental blocks smartly. So while taking part in the jam session, if you feel any mental blocks in the sense like struggle, then you just manage it by your own or by your existing practice. So that will be very useful if you get any mental blocks, I mean, at the time of your participation. Then control on speech, and you just make sure or clear about your speech, that whether it is whether it is under your control or not. So control on your speech, don't give any like unwanted information. As I told you that time management is very important. Within a minute, you just give your views or like opinions or like thoughts about a particular topic. So control on your speech, don't give any unwanted information. The next one is presenting both sides. So here, presenting both sides, like the positive and negative, whatever it may be, so it should be presented equally. So presenting both sides, it's an essential one in the jam. The next one is competence, enthusiasm, and adaptability. So competence, enthusiasm, and adaptability. So competence, I mean your potential or like your ability, it's very important. Then enthusiasm, so you just always like what we can say, uh, like an enthusiastic person. In such a way, you just focus yourself during the participation. Then adaptability, you just adapt yourself according to the assignment or according to the round which will be conducted by the recruiters. So these are all the tips for enhancing your performance in the jam session, I mean just a minute speech. So don't forget, it is always required for each and every engineering candidate when they are going to appear for any interview. Most probably the reputed MNC companies are preferring jam session in order to shortlist the candidates. So better you will be one among them. So take or like you just get practice well in advance in order to rectify or in order to overcome all your fears or like any obstacles. Then we have come across more information about jam and how to take part, how to give your wonderful performance in the jam session, and what are all the do's and don'ts, everything. So I think after observing this video, definitely you will become like a wonderful participant if you get an opportunity to take part in the jam session. So I wish you all the best and like best of luck to get the placement, or you'll be placed in a reputed MNC companies. So thank you very much.